how do you go about, so I guess from your perspective, my perspective, a lot of times, I don't know if convince is the right word, but persuade, get a decision maker to see the importance. If you're an internal IT person, they think, oh, well, you're still at the end of the day, you're selling them on an idea or to make room in the budget to do something that's good for the business that they might not even fully understand. What's kind of your process for that?
Yeah. So, it really depends on what it is. So if you're saying things like, let's say the cyber stack, for instance, how do we, convey the importance of this level of cybersecurity for their company? I think the only way, first of all, it's for a company that is, you know, focused purely on expenses and reduce, mitigating those expenses. It becomes a tough sell. But the approach that we're taking now, and we will see how this plays out, is one of kind of teamwork. And if you use their kind of language, and it's we, how do these are the company goals. So we don't ever kind of refer to ourselves as cyberlinks. It's always we as their as their company. So let's say fit, right? So how do we do this, as Fit Solutions? Our goal is this, to and then kind of letting them see that these are the worries, and asking them, what they think we can do. Here are some options, then, and that we think are good, but is this important? How do we go about mitigating this? But I so it's really, really tough,
Good.
for a company that's kind of anti that. But I think, so one of the tactics we're currently, implementing to kind of help people help themselves, right? Help us help them, is the news. There are so many examples now in the news. So as they come up and we bring these up, like, hey, this just happened. I want to make sure that this doesn't happen to us because it is actively going on. I want to implement this. I think it'd be great. Then they're like, great. So far, we've seen massive success every time that the kind of grenades go off near them. So when it's a family member, another company that they've seen or know, it becomes real for them, and they act very quickly. So we're having some success with saying that, hey, look, this just happened. This is what we want to do. And for us, we like to keep everything kind of short term, right? We don't do long-term commitments. So we're saying, hey, look, let's try this out. I think it's really important for the next 3 to 6 months, until at least this stops. But then let's reevaluate. It's not like we have to buy this forever. It's like a security system. If we feel comfortable after 3 to 6 months that we like it, or maybe it's garbage and we want to try something else, cool. But I think this is going to help us keep the bad guys out for the next 3 to 6 months. It'll give us some, so that's what we've been going at, recently. And I'd say it's been better than just waiting for them to get punched in the face.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't figure out for the life of me, how do I persuade people, before they get hit? Time and time again, it's not until they get hit that they're receptive. But I think as a whole, they're coming around. And I think by kind of speaking to them as the part of the team, how do we collectively do it? And I'm not trying to sell you something. I'm trying to keep you safe, so I don't look bad and you don't get hurt, because if you get hurt, I get hurt, right? So
Yeah.
it's in our mutual best interest to keep everybody safe here. I don't know.